is it pleasant to walk around here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it feels like it works into the terrain in some
It
ways,
works into the
different
terrain.
levels.
Yeah. I would like to go from there to start talking about Richard Meyer, because that is indeed the central concept of building the Getty, to achieve a harmony between natural form and built form. So that is the concept around which drives the design, harmony between natural form and built form. That also means that he is going to manicure nature to fit the structure and vice versa. So you will see that even though it looks square and geometrical, there are going to be beautiful curves which are taken copied from the surrounding hills. Okay, so when Richard Meyer first came here, we don't have that today, but light was the first thing that he was impressed with. He said the quality of light is intoxicating from a person who comes from the east, this Southern California light. So he wanted to use light to build with, and that is what he was doing. When he came, and I want to move a little bit, I want to show you a point up on the hills. When Richard Meyer came, he chose that little plateau over there to sit a lot on. You see on the hillside there is that little bald spot. He came out there a lot when there was nothing here. So imagine that this landscape was just like the continuation of those hills here. It was an undeveloped land, because he wanted to get a sense of the directions of the topography of the landscape. So what he found out was that there are two intersecting ridge lines that structure the topography, and they meet at a 22.5 degree angle. And moreover, these two ridge lines were also followed by the city, because the city obviously was built around the land. So one of these ridge lines runs parallel to, or vice versa, to the 405 freeway. The other one runs parallel to the general layout of the Los Angeles street grid. So there he has the two main axes of directions along which he places his buildings. Because this is not only a museum, this is the Getty Center. Richard Meyer's task is much bigger than building just a museum. His task is to build a home for the Getty. And the Getty has not only a museum, which is the most important, but also other programs connected to the conservation of art and the fostering of research in art, culture, the humanities in general. Okay, so we have several other buildings. Obviously, that's the museum complex. And then this is an auditorium called after Harold Williams, who was the president and CEO of the board and of the trust, and he was the one who oversaw the entire project. That's the trust building over there. That building is the Conservation Institute, and the Getty has state-of-the-art equipment and great expertise to help conserve works of art through the ages. Museum, and then two other buildings along this axis, which is a very important one, the Food Services building, and behind that the Research Institute for the Arts and Humanities. So Richard Meyer had to build a campus. He talked about it as a campus, really, a hilltop city, which reminded me very much of Italy. And if you had been in Italy and in the Mediterranean, you might have a sense of a Mediterranean hilltop city, really. An acropolis, some people think about it as an acropolis, a little bit on the Greek model built here. So these are the main lines, and again, he wants to achieve a harmony with not only nature, topography, but also the cityscape, the city. He wanted to put the Getty here so that it's going to become an organic part of Los Angeles. And I think it has already achieved that status. It is really a part of LA. Most people like it, yeah, some people might not, but the Getty has become a keystone, so to speak, of Los Angeles, right? There were several limitations that Meyer had to work with or work around. When he came here, he didn't come to build in a vacuum, although the hilltop was undeveloped, but there are important homeowners, residential areas on both sides of the hill. Down below is Brentwood. The other side is Bel Air. Both are very prominent neighborhoods. Especially the Brentwood homeowners were concerned about the project, this huge monumental enterprise, coming on the top of the hill. Richard Meyer was known for the color white. He builds everything that he has been doing is in white, and so he was asked to tone down the kind of white that he envisioned. If you turn around, you will see the two whites, and so that is the color white in that modern frame that you saw over there, which is the continuation of the tram station. That was his original idea of the entire Getty. And people said no, because when that light the light meets that white, it's going to be a glare. It's going to, produce a glare that we don't want to live with. So that's the reason why Richard Meyer had to look for a compromise and found it in the tone of this off-white, very pleasant, honey-colored tone of the travertine. Travertine, using a stone, was a departure in Richard Meyer's work. He never used stone before. He was known for the use of modern materials, like these aluminum panels, glass, metal. So the stone is a very, very new idea, and finding the travertine was an important step in building the Getty Center, because that gives the color. So we have a Getty white and we have a Richard Meyer white. We are working with two whites, a two-tone white here. And other important limitation was the height. Meyer wanted about twice the degree, and people said no way. So as a result, everything had to come below, I think it's 64 feet. That you see the cylindrical central lobby of the museum, that's called the rotunda, that is 64 feet. Everything had to go below the 64 feet. So half of the Getty is underground. You had to excavate the hill, and about half of what you see up here went down. So we have 3 stories below, office buildings, storage space, etc. Right? So he really, it was 3 years of negotiations and 107 conditions that he had to work with when finally the building would start.